Hi everyone, it's Lisa C here. Come on in because today we are talking about the one thing that is really robbing you of true happiness. This is so critical. People ask me all the time, how do you feel so happy? And it really was surrendering to this one thing. So I wanted to share it with you. I work with my clients with this. So my name is Lisa C. I am a life coach and also founder of Guilt Free Goddess, where you learn to love yourself and make radical changes in your life. So, what is this one thing? And it's something that we've really touched on this week in coaching is having expectations. And I think deep down, like, people know that expectations are like quite a toxic thing, but we don't really, and we haven't really been taught anything different. So we're just kind of going with expectations. We know from the science that expectations equals really good feelings when they go right. So you have an expectation that someone will behave a certain way, and when they meet that, you just feel so fulfilled, so joyful, so happy. But when they don't, you also feel really disappointed, hurt, frustrated. So although they come with a very big high when they go well, which is always what we're chasing, is to feel really great, they also have a consequence of coming with a really solid thump to the ground, which can really knock us off our game in the day. Let me know below if you've ever kind of felt those expectations, like those disappointed feelings of like, I never thought that would happen, or I never thought this person would treat me this way, or I never thought that would happen to me, right? And so we go into these expectations in life, and I always section them off into two categories. There's the expectations that we have of ourselves, and then there's the expectation that we have of others in the way they treat and react and give us and meet our needs, right? And so both of them are really unhealthy things to have. I don't know about you, but I know I had a lot, and I still struggle with, to this day, and work through it daily, of perfectionism. I have an expectation of, myself to please others, and do all of that. So I have very high expectations that I get all my mental health work done today, and build connection with my kids, and make sure I earn money, and make sure I do a really good job at my work. So I'm always like wanting to exceed high achievement, and that's an expectation that I'm always making good choices by people, that I don't hurt people. So that's like a really high expectation. And when we don't meet that in the day, when we don't meet our goal that we want, we feel disappointed in ourselves. And that often is projected onto the people that we love. So I don't know about you, but when I'm frustrated at myself, I actually end up like shouting at other people, or getting frustrated, or ignoring other people and completely shutting down. So lots of different coping mechanisms for that. But we also have the expectations from others as well, how we expect them to treat us. So I expect you to read my mind when I'm in a bad mood, and be able to know exactly what I need. And when you don't do that, I'm going to spend the rest of the day not talking to you and angry at you. Have you ever done that in a relationship? I know I have. The expectation that someone will prioritize something that you need, and they don't. And again, you feel disappointed or frustrated because then you can't work. And then you think to yourself, why wouldn't they? Like, that doesn't make logical sense. And so that can cause really unhealthy conflict and really unhealthy thoughts in our mind. So we often have that in multiple ways, in our jobs, in our relationships, and in ourselves, in our children. We have expectations that, they won't have big emotions and all the things. So when we do, we just feel disappointed, and that disappointment fuels that negative thought pattern, and it fuels that, I'm not worthy to other people, I'm not, enough, I'm not lovable, all those thoughts, will go round and round. And again, then we just feel nothing. You know, when our expectations aren't met after again and again, we stop feeling disappointed and we just feel nothing. We just go, oh, well, that's what I should expect. What's really important is that we swap out, and this is what I love to talk about in terms of swapping out simple words or strategies in our lives. It doesn't have to be super complex all the time. Sometimes just making one radical change, one word, one difference, one different value, one different practice is all it needs, all the catalyst that you need to make massive changes in your life. And so I always love to switch up with my clients to a standard instead of an expectation. And then the definition of a standard is like, rather than I expect you to do this, and when you don't, there's a consequence either way, or do or don't. It's like, this is my standard that I live to, and that's how I want to be treated. And that's kind of like, there's some non-negotiables in there, and there's things I'm willing to negotiate on, and there's some values that I, you know, can work through, but there's ones that are just non-negotiable that I definitely need in my life. You know, a standard would be like your love language. Like, you know, that's a need. I need that. That's my standard, you know, that you try to meet my love languages as much as possible. But it's not an expectation that you need to meet my love languages, because when we have a standard, it puts the responsibility back on us and allows us to make a decision whether that person is the right match, or that relationship is the right match, or that work is the right match, rather than they're not fitting into our world and like doing everything that we want. It's like really putting it out there and attracting in everything that we want. It doesn't mean there's no room to wiggle, but like I said, you need to know yourself well enough. And that's what we work on, is knowing who you are, what you want. So for a standard for me is that a standard is loyalty. When I'm in a relationship, require loyalty. And should you break that, you know, this might happen. But I don't have an expectation that someone is going to stay loyal to me for the rest of my life. And I think that's what has helped with healing, right? Is that I think we have this expectation that people are going to be a certain way to us. And when we take back that power and say, no, I have a standard, and if you meet that standard, great. If you don't, or if you want to meet that standard, that's awesome. Let's work towards it, you know. But when someone keeps crossing your standard, it really makes it easy. And you still feel quite happy, because you're like, hey, that's not me. That's kind of you, and that's your own thing. And if you want to go ahead and keep behaving that way, then unfortunately you can't have access to me. So standards are more boundary focused rather than gratification or, you know, disappointment focused, which just gives you so much more power. And that is the key to happiness, is that we feel so much more powerful in ourselves when we have the tools, the simple tools, to change the way we think about things. And like I said, those standards are really related to how you feel about yourself. You know, am I going to have a standard of how someone treats me? The second part, the component that we talked about earlier, was how you treat yourself, the standards that you have of yourself. The expectations of perfectionism and people pleasing and these unachievable goals, again, bring that really great high when you meet them, but they give that really deep self-loathing, disappointment in yourself low. When we put a standard on, of a standard day for me would look like, I'd like to exercise, I would like to eat at least one healthy meal, I would like to have at least, 10 minutes with my kids, and they're really achievable and they're really connected to what you value in this world. And I think we stop putting that pressure Do you know what I mean? That horrible pressure that we have on ourselves to just be so perfect all the time and have these ridiculous expectations of ourselves. And then we fail and we beat ourselves up and we go round in that circle. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel great about yourself because you're already doing great in life. So if you change those expectations to standards, you automatically free yourself from, yes, the super highs sometimes, but also the lows, and you just create this inner peace within here. And that is really what happiness is. It's like this peace and comfort inside you that just feels so amazing and liberating and freeing. And that's where we really want to swap expectations for standards. And when people don't meet our standards, or when we're not meeting our own standards, we put new boundaries and behaviors in place to be able to meet them, to feel fulfilled within here and within our social environment as well. I hope this video helps to guide you towards more self-love and just feeling really, really good in yourself. If you would love to chat with me more, don't forget the link is below. You can book in for a free consult to see if we are a good fit together. But I would love to see you going from feeling not worthy, feeling stressed, disappointed, whatever the emotions that you're feeling right now. And if you just feel like, I just want to feel great about myself, great about my life, and I just want to be able to attract anything that I want, and actually I feel live the life that we were all born to live, of abundance and choice and excitement and exploration, then do book in below, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great day.